Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Oh, time for a wicked cup of cocoa. It's a little cold out there. Good morning. Welcome on to the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score. The 100.7 The Score mobile app brought to you by Happy State Bank, the website.
Are you doing that because Lucas looks like a Beastie Boy today?
No, I told you I was going to bring it a little different.
Okay, gotcha.
I was trying to change
I'm
it up
happy
a little.
For you and me. Thank you.
Okay, he's Geoff Haxton.
What's happening, everybody?
I changed it up a little. He does look like a Beastie Boy a little bit.
Time for some cocoa.
Lucas decided to come in the beanie today. What is the logo on that?
It's a heart?
It's a heart.
That's a heart?
Yes.
My eyes are so bad.
It's a purple heart.
I don't know if Jeff McGuire's been licking the glass either, but there's definite smudges right around where Lucas is. So a purple heart.
Fun fact, it's from Forever 21.
I thought, he said purple heart. I thought, hey, getting in the Veterans Day mode today. No, Forever 21. So there's that. He's Hax. I'm Chois. Lucas across the way. It is a Friday, so a busy show ahead today. Got plenty to dive into. A basketball game from last night to recap. Of course, we will break down the amazing comparisons of Davion Harmon to Bryson Williams, just like Chuck Hines did.
I mean, they're the exact same dude.
The exact same dude. They look the same, too. Minus a foot. We will, of course...
He did have a really good dunk last night, like Bryson could.
He did. Yeah. Last night. A bit different than what we saw in the first game. Still, obviously, you win the game by 24 points. Covered the spread. It felt a little sloppier to me. I mean, just the game in general. I'm not saying the Red Raiders were... But the game itself felt like it didn't have as much flow to it. Well, officials had to do with that. More foul calls.
Yeah, you had bigger name officials in there than you did the first night, and they were...
Oh, yeah.
They were making sure they got back their whistle game, make sure that it's in top form before the all the MTEs start.
The big ones.
Yeah, then like Maui. So, yeah, we saw a lot more ref show yesterday.
So, a little more ref show. Dive into that. We will get to football.
I also want to get into this. It's Veterans Day,
yes.
And along with Veterans Day, you have the Armed Forces Classic between Michigan State and Gonzaga.
Okay.
This is on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Temperature at tip, 65 degrees.
Okay.
Northwest winds at 6 to 8.
Ooh.
And humidity of 40 to 45%. Will these guys roll out in some jogging pants and sweaters? You think?
Like during the game?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
With the jersey over?
65? No, you'll get plenty of warm. If this was colder than that, it'd be a concern. The part that's the most interesting is the winds at 6 to 8. That gets back to the schoolyard stuff where you're like, all right, I got to gauge this with the wind a little bit.
This is a kind of a,
Do you ever want to call a game on
a
ship?
ship? I would absolutely love to.
Oh, I hope it happens someday.
I'd love to. But this is, this just says America right here. I mean, you look at this picture, it's like we can do anything. So you got the carrier, and then they have stands on the carrier.
Yeah.
And
I love that game.
It looks like a perfectly reasonable place to play basketball, to be honest with you.
It's really cool.
And even though 65 degrees and a little bit of wind, that's okay, man. It could be a lot worse. It'd be like it is here today. So
yeah. So Gonzaga and who? Who'd you say?
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yeah. And
Happy Veterans Day salute. Love you guys.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't be sitting here at all, not even close, if it's not for you, men and women. Thank you so much.
We have tons of, a whole lot of guys in our audience that are veterans, people in our audience that are veterans, and we appreciate all of you for your service. Absolutely.
And if you pay for anything today, something's wrong. There's all kinds of deals around town, all over the place, restaurants, free this, free that. So
yeah, absolutely. There's
heard Vince talking about it this morning. So
if you want, there's you can just Google it and you'll find a lot. I have a list too. I don't know if you want me to share it, but I can tell you a lot of places that have free stuff for
a lot of free
today.
coffee, and
I know our friends at Twin Peaks have a menu today that they definitely have it, but there's a lot of different options there. So We'll talk some football. Red Raiders, Kansas Jayhawks. I think I have a good feeling about this weekend's game. I think you're going to see a bounce back. I haven't had a good feeling going into the last two games. The Baylor one, I thought, you would play a close game, and it could go either way. This one, a little bit different. To me, Haxton, before we don't have to break it down ad nauseum yet, but this game is all about Texas Tech's offense. Kansas is going to have an offense that's going to score somewhere between, depending how well your defense is playing, but 20 to 30, maybe 35 points if you're really giving them up. This is how much offense can Texas Tech produce? Are you going to be able to outscore this Kansas team? And I think you get to that 30 number, I'm feeling pretty good because your defense can hold the Jayhawk offense down to an extent, but you haven't seen a flow for your offense in the last 2 weeks since the West Virginia game, and that's what we need to see on Saturday.
Yeah, I tell you, I've gone back and forth. I was listening to the guys on the morning drive pick their games. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm. And now I've got to, before we get to our pick 'em, come to a conclusion because right now I still don't know which side I'm going to pick. I think it could be that close, and I think it could be a game, too, where we do really see the turnovers make the difference. I talked to you, gave you my fill in the blank yesterday, which I thought just rushing is just going to be huge.
I agree.
You got to rush the ball. You got two guys that can do it, and for me, I'd have Donovan in there being a third one that can do it, that can rush the football. I do think it will be Shuck, but I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Maybe a mixture of both. But yeah, this could be that who makes the mistake late, who hands the ball to the other side, and that turnover margin actually coming and actually decide one. This could be that game. Because I think it's that close.
We hear the mixture of both thing quite a bit, and they've kind of stayed more true to it in the back half of the season where we see Donovan for a few plays, but it's not a true mixture of both. It's been Donovan will come in, get you a first down, then play another play, and then he's out. Would you like to see it more be early in the game if you're not moving the football with starter number one?
All right, I don't want to mix if I can avoid it.
So you want?
I don't want like 70% of the snaps to 30. I want one guy. Now, if that's Shuck, I don't want to completely eliminate Donovan. I want him in those fourth and shorts.
Yeah.
I want him
it's probably the best option.
Third and goal on the 2. I want him in those situations because he just – when you go for that many fourth downs, I would rather get those on the ground than risk throwing it.
I agree.
And Donovan can do that. He's proven. If
Absolutely,
there's anything that he's proven, he can go get the short yardage when it's really rough and tumble, and you get hit, and you lean forward with the frame, and you pick that up. I would rather pick that because you're going to go for fourth down 5, 6, 7, 10 times. I'd rather be able to pick those up on the ground. So if it's Shuck, okay, let's let him do it. But when it comes to that, got to get short yardage, give me Donovan.
All right, lots on the chat line rolling in already.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo, yo. We got this one for 3 hours today, all the way till high noon. Got plenty of your thoughts to get to. We got a few headlines, including playoff games to fill you in on. Coming up next, it's the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's time for what you need to know, part of the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. He's Geoff Haxton. I'm Chois Woodman. Time for a few headlines. Started off with some high school football. Who's got the football? We had a lot of games playing in the area last night. As far as games go tonight, Abernathy's up against Spearman up in Canyon at Happy State Bank Stadium at 4, so a early kick there. What we've got on the airwaves here is a 5:30 kickoff, a 5 o'clock coverage start time for Double T 97.3. Friendship Tigers hosting the El Paso Eastlake Falcons. So you can go out and watch that game or listen in on Double T 97.3. or if Cooper's more your flavor, right here on 100.7 The Score, a 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 coverage start time. Listen in here on 100.7 The Score as Cooper hosts the El Paso Bel-Air Highlanders. So you can listen to both of those games on our airwaves tonight. Other games going on. Estacado's taking on the El Paso Bowie Bears. That's at Grande Stadium in Midland. Snyder plays Ferris. I had never heard of Ferris before this one. At Chelsea Field in Cisco. Friona against Idalou, at Lobo Stadium in Leveland. At Lowry Field tonight, I got a big one, Dumas Demons up against the Wichita Falls High Coyotes.
I love it when the neutral sites come in for these teams and they get to travel, and it's just a really cool feeling.
Oh, man, I love high school football in general, but like playoff football, it's amazing.
You better get your coffee makers ready.
Especially
tonight.
Towns like that. I mean, towns where you've got the one high school town and the whole town travels for it because it's the thing to do. It's amazing. So, Demons and Wichita Falls High tonight at at Lowry Field here in Lubbock. Ropes versus Sudan in Slayton. Hale Center versus New Home in Littlefield, and Floydada against Panhandle up in Canyon in the second game of that doubleheader later tonight. Lots of finals last night. Shallowater whipped up on Lamesa 41-3. Muleshoe beat Brownfield 47-37. Lucas's Stratford Elks took down Sundown 49-8. Do you know Stratford's one of his many teams?
Add another.
I think his dad went to high school there.
Okay.
I think that's why. I still don't understand the geography of Lucas White. He's not here to defend
That'd be a
himself.
study.
Because he's lived in D.C. His dad went to Stratford High School. Like it's all over. But
he's adopted.
Yeah, he's adopted.
I was
he's
adopted.
from Columbia originally. Yeah, he was born in Columbia. Yeah. New Deal crushed Highland Park from Amarillo 71-18 last night. And Rawls took out Plains 34-18. You'll get the full scoop of scores from last night and tonight with Friday Night Live coming up later this evening following Friendship Football on Double T 97.3 about 10 o'clock tonight. Actually, we had a good basketball game last night. Good, at least as far as the good guys won the game. Red Raiders took out Texas Southern yesterday, 78-54. Thoughts on what you saw?
The second half was extremely ragged.
Okay,
for both teams. You did.
Yeah.
At one point, Choice, we had, I think it was 2 for 18. Yeah. Each team was 1 for its last 9, so you had a combined 2 for 18.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed with how Texas Tech handled its business and dominated in a game where they should definitely win, but you were smaller favorites in this one over a better team. But here's the deal. Once Texas Southern kind of let it out to John Harris across the way from me that their guy, they have 3 guys really, but the one that handles the ball the most, the 5'10" grad transfer, PJ Walker, wasn't going to play. I really felt like they didn't have any chance after that.
Yeah, I agree.
That was about 30 minutes before tip, so I was looking at it going, okay, this could be a game tonight. It really could, because Texas Tech's relying more on the perimeter game, and if it's not dropping and they're the opposite and red hot and on fire, then you could have a ball game tonight. But once I heard that, I was like, for the mid-majors to go in and win these pay games, they have to be perfect. And you can't be perfect if your point guard, your 2 guard, your guy that's averaging or that had 21 points against San Francisco, which was him. Your window for perfection goes out the door. So I thought they handled their business. I thought it was an ugly game, but still plenty of things to work on. But here's the things that Mark Adams is going to look at. It's almost cutting your turnovers in half. So you took care of the ball a lot better, and that you can kind of just leave it at that. Hey, so we can't turn the ball over at the level that we were doing it. So they took it from 20 to 12. good check mark there. That's some improvement. And I still don't think you've seen 70% of what Harmon can be.
Okay.
O'Banner, I thought, did a good job last night, inside, out. Pop Isaac struggled. But overall, a Thursday night game against a team from the SWAC.
And it went how it's supposed to go against a Thursday night team or game against a team from the SWAC. Now, as we mentioned yesterday, you root for Texas Southern to be a really good team.
The rest of the way.
You want them to.
Hey, and good for them. They host Arizona State next. That's really cool.
That is cool. And then they have a lot of – they are the Globetrotters when it comes to travel this year. If you look at their schedule.
The
they're
check cashers.
all over the place. So
I was impressed that Johnny Jones made it all the way out near the lane. That was impressive. The head coach for Texas Southern, they had a foul not go his way, and he was about a foot from the lane. I was like, wow, you didn't get a tech, and you were all the way out there. That's pretty good, Coach.
a lot of times I think officials – allow more when they think they may have screwed something up. Don't you? They'll let you chew on them for a long time, or they'll let you get away with a lot more if they're like, wow, we really might have missed that one.
And by the way, Tyson's the real deal. I mean,
I really like his game.
He's what's exciting about
Both
him
sides.
for me is I think he's kind of a hybrid player.
Yeah.
He can go in there and bang around underneath, but what I really like is the mid-range game, because nobody has that for the most part.
Yeah.
But he does.
Yeah. I like his mid-range game. I like both sides of the ball for him is what I like with Tyson. Is you do get that energy, that hustle on defense, but man, he's a guy that can go score the basketball. I think when we look at this year, and we are still so early, so you can't make any definitive statements. But if you get in moments where you need to go get a bucket at the end of the game, I'm not sure.
Might be him.
Yeah, I think he's one. I mean, O'Banner's obviously a veteran. He's one that can knock down shots for you. But if it's, hey, you need to go get a 2-point basket, or you just want the ball in his hands at the end of the game, he could be the guy. I'm not going to say it is him, but he could be the guy. A couple more headlines real quick. Mavericks lose to the Wizards 113-105. And the New York Yankees locked up a guy with a contract. See that news?
No.
Okay, wait. Did I get duped? Hold on.
You got to be careful these days,
No,
man.
I'm serious. I saw it on Twitter on what looked like the Yankees. I got duped. I saw it. It looked like the Yankees Twitter account, but I didn't read the handle. Now you have to read the handle.
It's a must. You must read the handle.
Never mind, because I don't see anything else saying that Aaron Judge signed the 9-year contract that I saw. I got duped, but I caught it before I told everybody that's what's happening. Good grief. McIntyre says Happy Veterans Day.
That's him, too.
Do what?
That's him, too. He's
yes.
a veteran.
Well, Eric McIntyre and Eric on Wheels, right? Both veterans.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. I think Clay might be. We've got a lot of them out there. Again, we very much appreciate you guys. South Texas Ambassador Preston says, I think if you commit to running the ball, Taj and Thompson will have 40 carries combined. You win the game handily. If you're getting to a point where they have 40 carries in the game, I think things are going your way. So I feel really good about your chances. A lot of people agreeing with you on officials being different. Patrick says, Banner's first 3 fouls were not even fouls. Also says the freaking old guy was terrible.
At least 2 were phantom on him. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, at least 2. Yeah, that's Jerry Pollard. I mean, what's crazy about Jerry? He'll be reffing an Elite 8. You watch it.
He will be.
Yeah.
He's going to be reffing some big Big 12 games for you later in the year, too.
Oh, my gosh, yes,
He'll be part of some...
Him and Marcus Pettigrew.
Some big ones. Yeah.
I like Marcus.
All right, more from the chat line. Get back to some more of your thoughts. And a Veterans Day special for Hax.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
On to hour number 2. You got the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you as always by Happy State Bank. It's hour number 2, so we've got our Weekend Pick'em Challenge coming your way at 10:30. Hold on to this number, 806-771-0973. That's the Benchmark hotline. We'll let one of you call and pick games with us. A listener has not won in a really long time, which probably means I'm jinxing it to where they will. But it's been almost 2 full months since a listener has won. I'm trying to think I think Justin was our last winner. So we'll pick games coming up at 10:30 this morning. Still plenty to get into, football, basketball. We just watched the video of Mattress Mac.
What a gangster he is.
He literally has to use a wheelbarrow to carry the cash out for his largest bet in sports betting history, legal bet.
And that thing is just wobbling.
Yeah.
He's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man, and he's got $75 million cash in a wheelbarrow. The pilot,
is that the pilot?
The pilot's helping him stabilize.
You know he got a cut, man. That was a good day for that pilot, I would hope.
Goodness, look at that. It's amazing. Just cash.
Ziploc, those
straight cash.
Vacuum sealed monster bags. It's the size of a bag of concrete.
Wow. And I never knew what $75 million cash would look like, but he showed us in a wheelbarrow. That's such a boss move, too. Just to bring the wheelbarrow out. I'm literally going to wheel my cash out. Next, he's going to be the real Scrooge McDuck diving in it in his vault. All right, keep them coming. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions. A couple more basketball questions, and we're moving on to the football ones. Hax. Someone says, Hax, is this basketball team, or Panhandle Raider asks, has this basketball team gelled yet? They could be very scary later this season.
No, I don't think they've gelled yet. No, they still don't know exactly what their roles are. I was very optimistic about what I saw from Damarian Williams yesterday.
Yeah.
Few stretches of him playing well.
What you said yesterday, I think you said he's
ninth. Yeah, I think he's still there, but
he could.
I saw good things from him. Yeah. I mean, he's got the length and the height that you're looking at from the guard position that you lost so much of last year.
How much he was a good scorer at Gardner-Webb,
yeah,
right?
Like 15.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was around 15 a game and a good three-point shooter. So he's a guy that obviously has the talent there, offensively speaking. Another question.
But no, they haven't gelled yet. No. They're playing well together, but a long way to go till you can say gel.
Dylan on the chat line says, I haven't really paid much attention the first 2 games, but Hax, do we have great free throw shooters?
I think it's been pretty good. I think this will be a good free throw shooting team.
I hope so.
Because right now, there's not anybody that walks up there minus KJ Allen that I think might have a chance of throwing up a couple of clankers.
Yeah. And Bacho's improved a bunch, right?
Kerwin Walton last year was 7 for 7 from the line. Bacho's improved a ton. He was 60% last year. You were wondering about Damarian Williams.
Yeah.
He was 14.5
points.
Gardner-Webb, 79 three-pointers, 149 baskets.
That's a lot of three-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
O'Banner's 76% last year from the line. I think Tyson will be a good free throw shooter. Elijah Fisher, we'll see. Davion Harmon last year, 73%. So, yeah, last year you shot it from the line right at 70%, and you made 13.6 a game, which is pretty good. I think you could be better.
Someone says, I think Fisher has been good so far, but I really hope he doesn't turn into another Namari where he gets disappointed with playing time as a freshman, then decides to transfer because he thinks he's NBA ready right now. Part of Namari's issue was he had guys in his ears, or people, bad influences in his ear, where it seemed like, and you're a lot closer to it than I am, but it sure seemed like Burnett had a great attitude and everything was going fine. And then all of a sudden he just quits.
Poof.
Yeah. It seemed like he was bought in. It seemed like he was fine. But these guys that are future NBA guys, or that people think are future NBA guys, they've got so many people that are wanting that future, wanting a chunk of that future. They will they'll be whispering, "Hey, you got to get out of here. You got to go to somewhere that's going to play you. You're way too good for this. You're way too good for her." That kind of thing. So you got to be careful with that. And I don't have no idea Elijah Fisher's surroundings or anything like that. But that seemed to be the case with Namari Burnett.
Terrence Shannon was that guy who came in here, thought he'd play 1 year and then be in the league. He's still playing 4 or 5 years later.
Yep.
Stuck around at Texas Tech for a lot longer than most thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Choice, Elijah's got to know that he can't go left and he can't shoot from 3 like the way you're going to be able to be to play basketball at the level that he wants to. He's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And even those handlers, you would hope, would say, yeah, we know these weaknesses too. And this is a great place to work on them. And let's do it. Let's work on them.
Big Huey says, Hax, have you heard anything on Fardaws still on track for conference play?
That's no one really knows. Oh, well,
that's the last thing that was publicly said by Adams, right?
Yeah, but
Okay. I'm just saying that's the last thing that was publicly said was that a week ago. That's what Adams said.
There are 3 people that actually know.
Okay.
And it's the trainer, Dawes, and Adams.
Yeah. So, how cliche, LOL, a wheelbarrow full of cash.
We got to get this more ready.
I know, we got to have the cliche sounder. It's so high up there. Look how high Lucas's eyes are. It's like he's looking at the
neck's
ceiling
gonna
for
break.
Best way to get the IRS in your business is to roll in $75 million in a wheelbarrow.
I bet they got some eyes focused on that.
I think he's had the IRS in his business forever.
He's probably got guys hired to battle those guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's see. Keep going on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Plenty of reaction of carries and that sort of thing. Talking about running the ball. Chris says, please let Tyler not run the ball and slide.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Let's take the guy who's been a little peanut brittle, just hang out in the pocket some.
Yeah.
I mean, running him, I would think that'd be the last thing
you'd love
do.
for him to hang out in the pocket if you can keep him clean. One thing that's been underanalyzed, not talked about enough, you're getting two starting offensive linemen back this week. You've been missing 2 starting offensive linemen, coinciding with bad performances on the offensive line against Baylor and TCU. So Baylor, obviously far worse, but Kansas is not going to put near the front forward that you've seen in so many of these other games as far as defensive line goes.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not close to what some of the other teams in the league put out there. Probably half of the other teams in the league put out there. So hopefully getting Monroe Mills and Landon Peterson back will help greatly on that offensive line, give you a little more consistency there. All right, a few more from the chat line, and Hex has the highs and lows. That's coming your way next on 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be with you on this Friday, Veterans Day. Thank you to all of those who have served. You are fantastic people, and we are very appreciative here with the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score. Are there naders going on right now?
Yeah, spinning off Nicole.
Oh, in Canada?
No.
It's
Virginia. See that huge VA?
Bro. I saw Alberta there. I'm like, oh, they got some naders up there, eh?
You got some naders, eh?
Hey, it's spinning.
French fries and gravy.
Poutine. Which my folks went to Canada a couple months ago. Tried the poutine. Said it's like amazing.
It's so funny.
Really good.
VA.
It's not there anymore. I think when I looked, it wasn't there.
It was there.
I'm dead serious.
It was there.
It's not there.
It was there.
It said Alberta, man.
Look at that huge NC.
I see that. Oh. All right, get your questions in. On the Yates Flooring Center chat line, we got Ask the Benchwarmers about 10 minutes away from now. You may do so there.
Canadian Tornado,
You can
weed
make fun of
strain.
us.
I don't ever get weed strains, but that's a pretty good one.
Canadian Tornado would fit pretty well. Hey. I had something for you. Just totally. Oh yeah, this.
Throw you for a
The
loop.
Toy Hall of Fame class is out. So I brought this like 4 or 5 months ago of the nominees, but they only pick 3 each year out of all those nominees. So all 3 of these have officially been inducted into the 2022 National Toy Hall of Fame class, and the Light Bright made it.
Yeah, should.
Light Bright is won Masters of the Universe. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
It's a game of some sort, right?
Masters of the Universe. Wasn't that He-Man? He-Man. I have the power.
Dude, you nailed it. Good job.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, Masters of the Universe
So,
toys have been.
everybody's got these things, these little relics, these little antiques.
Uh-huh.
This falls right into what. So, lunchboxes, Jackson, the old lunchboxes were steel, like a weapon. And they had these little metal clasps, so you just and you're ready to go.
I
right?
had a metal lunchbox early on.
He did not.
No.
So that's why I was talking.
The
to him.
Rangers gave some away not long ago that were cool.
But we also had little lap trays in the house. Only 2 of them.
Like for TV dinners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transformers and Masters of the Universe, He-Man. And we still have them with my parents.
That's cool.
Because they'd never last at my house.
Yeah.
But they have these 2 little legs that you fold out,
Right.
set it on your lap, fold it in, stack it up. But yeah, the He-Man tray.
That's funny. The third and final one that got in this year. Shocked it's not there yet. The top. The classic spinning top. I think this one's the one you pull the string on. So, ones that didn't get in, Bingo, Settlers of Catan, Nerf Toys, the Pinata, Racco, and the Spirograph. They're all the Zach Thomases nominated but didn't get in. When the heck
was the last
is that
one?
guy? Spirograph.
Okay,
like where
yeah.
It's fun to do for like 5 minutes, and then
Remember the viewfinders?
like the oh yeah, those are amazing. Those have made a comeback where you can order like your own pictures with those.
You said Etch-a-Sketch was in, right?
No, they're not. I think it's already in.
That's what I meant. It's already in.
Yeah, it's not. So
Etch-a-Sketch, big time in. I'm trying to think of little kid toys.
Toy Story.
I told you about the roller racers, the pogo balls, just your regular pogo sticks, jacks.
Yeah.
Did you ever play with jacks?
Oh yeah, we did for a little bit. Marbles. We played with all sorts of stuff. Okay, back to more of your thoughts.
That's the tray, man. The exact
Did he
tray.
send you it? The He-Man tray.
It's got Man of Arms, Orko, He-Man, and Tila. Holy find. It's the exact tray. 1982.
I was gonna say, I bet that's some kind of collector's
I was about
edition
to
worth
say,
some money.
those are probably worth some money right now. if they're as old and
The one I sent Hax is worth $70.
daggum. Not bad. Someone said earlier, now I'm more worried about the football game. Choice's good feeling didn't work out for volleyball so well. It wasn't a really good feeling for volleyball. It was more of just like
Hope.
I want to pump you up. Didn't work.
Saturday Night Live reference.
You're welcome. Hacks, I don't get why we keep running the quarterback, yet we don't let the running backs throw passes. It seems like a winning combination. That's for T-Money. Oh, man. I just want to see good offense tomorrow. I mean, that's That's where I'm at. Your defense has played.
Speed option with Shuck is not where it's at.
No,
All right?
your defense has played well enough to win you both the last two games. And I know the Baylor score is extremely inflated, but remember that was a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. That was a touchdown game. What was it, 24-17, I believe, in the fourth quarter, or starting the fourth quarter. The TCU game. Actually, did you realize Tech did not give up an offensive touchdown to TCU till the fourth quarter?
Punt return, nothing. And then
a bunch
quarter,
of nothing. So this
Miller and
the defense has played well enough. I'm not saying that they've been perfect, but they've played well enough to win you the last two games. You have got to find some offense to get going on Saturday against Kansas, and that's
you will.
Yeah, but you got to find some sort of consistency.
I just think they're going to have offensive success as well.
So what's the number for you? Texas Tech has to reach this number to beat Kansas offensively.
40.
That's the guarantee number.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you can win with less. 40?
Kansas scored 42 on the road at OU.
I just don't think that Kansas is going to score. Let's look at Kansas's other games this year in terms of, because OU's not a good example. OU's got a terrible defense. Texas Tech's defense is middle of the pack when it comes to the Big 12. You've had good games, good moments. Obviously not perfect. But there are far worse defenses in this league than what Tech puts out there. Kansas scored 14 against Iowa State in a win. We remember that one. They put up 31 in a loss to TCU. Not bad. Put up 42, as you mentioned, against OU. Put up 23 last week against Baylor. Sorry, 2 weeks ago against Baylor. And then 37 against OSU. But OSU's fairly hobbled, right? Even on the defensive side.
Decimated.
So fairly hobbled is an understatement. I do not think – I think I would be surprised if Texas Tech's giving up more than 35 points in this game. I'd be really surprised if you give up more than 35 to Kansas. I realize they are a good offense. But it's also an offense that will play some ball control. They will. They will run it on you. They will keep the ball for a while if you give them the opportunity to. So, and what makes me nervous is it's an offense that doesn't turn it over a lot, and it feels like that's what you need desperately on defense right now. You got to find a way to get some takeaways.
I think you need to win the time of possession.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find a way to have more rush yards than they do.
Okay.
And then, of course, like I said, I don't know which show, but it feels like that in the fourth quarter when this is a one-possession game, who makes the big mistake is gonna fall here. And
expect Bean to start, right? Is that your expectation?
That's what I do. Yeah.
Now, I think kind of hearing it sounds like Daniels is probably available, at least in some capacity, if needed. But Bean has played pretty well in his absence, so we'll see. Get your questions in. We got a few in so far. Plenty of room for yours. If you want to do so on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, you can tweet us at 107 The Score or call us up on the Benchmark hotline, 806-771-0973. Get questions of any and all sorts in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Ask the Benchwarmers. Headed your way next on 100.7 The Score.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
That's right. It's time for Ask the Benchwarmers. Questions of any and all sorts are welcome. Get them in. Yates Flooring Center chat line, on the tweeter, and also on the Benchmark hotline, 806-771-0973. He's Hax. I'm Chois. Jackson across the way. Bring us questions for any and all of us. First question for you, Hax. Have you liked, or has it even been a blip on your radar, these overseas games? There's been a lot of them this year.
Yeah,
for the
I
NFL.
don't really have an opinion. They've been going on for a while, but I know what you're saying. The volume of them has increased.
Yeah.
One thing that I've enjoyed is now following sports aviation on Twitter
to see when they
to see when they leave, the flight pattern, how long it takes them to get there.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed that, taking off from Atlanta, landing in. Now we're going to Munich and we're going to London, and that's a really cool Twitter follower for again, a guy that hates to be on a
follow us
plane,
on
but
Friday?
is yeah. I mean, all those come. I mean, like Belmont going to play UCLA would be on there. You know how long it was and how long and what route they took. So, I'm all fine with spreading the game. I know that there's interest over there, and I can see why they're doing it. But like for me, I'm not going to probably, and you're not going to see the Chiefs, and you're not going to see the Cowboys, and you're not going to see the.
We see the Buccaneers, so that's. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw the Packers last week.
They
so-
love to send Jacksonville over there, man.
Yeah,
Golly.
we're seeing a few more names like the Bucks. I mean, that's Tom Brady having to go
Yeah.
over there. So that's
So what I'm saying is, I'm probably not getting up early to watch them.
yeah. If it were the Chiefs or the Cowboys, you'd
Yeah,
be more likely to tune
Yeah,
in.
definitely.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool to turn on the TV and if you're getting ready for church or something, and I mean, there's football on there. But
yeah. I mean, the only other thing that,
yeah,
as far as that goes, is Wimbledon was always that.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Benchwarmers' favorite superhero.
I'm Batman.
I'm a Batman guy too. I am. Spider-Man's a close second. Those are two different universes, right?
And specifically Michael Keaton Batman.
Michael Keaton,
Mm.
not George Clooney.
No.
Speaking of the sequels and all that, child me loved that version of the Batman. Is that the one that had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Freeze,
Yeah, I think
Mr. Freeze?
which turned into a great ride at Disney or Six Flags.
Yeah. Oh, that one's a great.
That's a
probably the
mean.
best one, right?
I love that thing.
That was my favorite at the Six Flags.
But there's a Batman ride. That one's a sit and your legs hang down. Right?
Yeah, I didn't like the Batman one as much. But
No,
yes,
I didn't
you
either.
hang
But
for it.
the freeze, doesn't that shoot you out of the tunnel?
Yeah, like fast,
that
and then you
is-
go backwards too.
That is money, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that ride.
There's one at the Six Flags in Denver that I think is a Superman one where you lay flat on your belly too.
I've done that one.
That one's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked that one.
We did that instead of going to a Broncos game.
The Denver, that's a pretty good Six Flags. It's not
Yeah,
bad there.
and then we discovered they sold beer there, and it turned into a great time.
They sell beer here. Fantastic. Someone asked, where is Ethan Duncan? You missed the
Great
news.
question.
Yeah, I don't know where he went, but he entered the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So not sure if he ended up somewhere or if he's hanging out on Texas campus and just shooting a lot somewhere. I don't know.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
But just not a spot for him that wouldn't be a walk-on type situation.
Yep.
Here.
Any news on AMAC?
Nope.
No new news.
Cast comes off in a couple weeks.
So there's that. Benchwarmers from Bullfighter. If you could make up your own holiday, what day and month would it be, and what would you celebrate? I think we answered something similar to that. I think someone asked the other day about the national holidays, and we said college basketball. Opening 2 days, first 2 days.
Without
of college
question.
But if you're just creating a holiday out of thin air,
Like Festivus.
yeah, like Festivus. Man, I don't know. I got to think on that more. Like, what do I want to celebrate?
Janine's Day.
Janine's Day. Was OSU tested?
The day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everybody answers that, but for me,
You don't-
it's never really been
you don't
a
get
problem.
wrecked.
It's never really been a problem. I mean, I'd be okay if they started the Super Bowl earlier. I never quite understood why we started like.
It's the perfect time to start.
Then you're not finished until after 9, and that's normally my bedtime.
Old man Woodman arrived at his bed a little bit late.
Yeah. Was OSU tested, or did they just fall flat? or show they are going to be an inconsistent
I
basketball
think
team
they showed
this year.
exactly who they are, which is a middle-of-the-road basketball team. And in this league, if you're middle of the road, you're
Bottom of the
finishing
league.
9 or 10.
Yeah. Opening Friday, Monday of deer hunting season holiday. That's a good one for anybody that's hunters out there. I would be able to go more. Yeah, that's pretty good. This from the question. Benchwarmers, who scores the first touchdown for Tech against KU?
Sir Roderick Thompson.
I hope you're right. I think if you're getting a rushing touchdown, that's good news. Who was first last week? Bradley? Bradley was. I'm going to go off the cuff a little bit and say Donovan Smith scores your first touchdown tomorrow against KU. Benchwarmers, which athlete currently on Tech's campus will have the best pro career? There's two that come to mind immediately for me. Trying to think of others. Sure, I'm forgetting people.
Tyree.
Aberg's the other one that I thought of. I think he could have a pretty good pro career in golf. But Tyree, I mean, you're legitimately looking at a potential for top-tier pass rusher in the NFL. I mean, you look at what he's doing right now.
Put him on the edge.
He dominate.
He looks a lot like these Dallas Cowboy D-line guys we get to watch every week. Just anytime you walk past a Division I football player, for the most part, when they walk by you and they're going in the stadium and you're clapping and they're coming, I mean, they all look impressive. This guy he's constructed differently. He's a stop traffic kind of athlete, and I really think that will take him to extremely high heights in the NFL. And he seems like he's got his head on right. He's got that part, which it's big. You've got to be able to conduct yourself right, and I think you'll be able to do all those things.
Yeah. I don't know why. At this point, I don't know why Tyree Wilson wouldn't have a great NFL career. Now, obviously, things change. Sometimes the projections are wrong, but that seems to be one of the easiest positions to project, right? Like an edge rusher. Because almost always, if you're dominant in college, just tearing everybody up, most of the time you see those guys go on to have good NFL careers. It's rare that.
I think you're talking about lack of bust.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Whereas you could look at that quarterback position and say, this guy's automatic.
Flip a coin.
This guy never took a snap.
Exactly. I mean, when you're talking about edge rushers, that translates almost always. So
not bust proof, but certainly a lower rate of.
As far as Aberg goes, I mean, he has potential out the wazoo. He could be an amazing pro golfer. Who knows? A lot of these European guys choose to go play most of their careers in Europe too, so might not see his name a lot more. There's a lot of money with live golf now too.
And baseball, we just really don't know much.
What about basketball? If you're answering the question, which guy has pro potential currently on the roster? Do you have one right now?
It's eventually going to be Bacho.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but he's still got some. Yeah. Towel waivers. What are you doing after the show? Need some help holding up tarps for modules. It's a little breezy. Thought he was going to invite us to lunch or something. But
hey, you just got off work. Come work.
I'm busy. Sorry, I'm busy. I actually do have to go do more work and set up a stage over there at where Jackson was earlier. Clay says Festivus Haximus. Be a good holiday.
Haximus Festivus.
For the rest of us. Hex, hope you have a great weekend. We'll see
you
each
tomorrow.
other again tomorrow.
Yeah, about 24 hours.
Yep. 2:30. Tune in. We'll have the end of the bench portion of Optimum Game Day Live on Double T 97.3. Until then, we hand you off to the bottom line. For Geoff Haxton, Jackson Frazier, I'm Chois Woodman. It's been the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.